the biggest entrepreneur platform on the planet. This is Business Rockstars. Welcome to Business Rockstars. I'm Alex Worley, joined by Melissa Kieling. She is the CEO and founder of PackIt, joining us for a special interview series, Empowerista, on marketing to the modern woman. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, let's start from the very beginning of PackIt. First of all, what is it and what inspires you to start it?
Sure. I guess so. I'll start with the inspiration. I have 3 kids, and after almost a couple decades of packing lunches for my kids, I realized how frustrating it was that you couldn't put fresh food in a regular lunch bag because it would spoil come lunchtime. So it was like the 3rd week of school, and I was reaching into the freezer to try and find some of those little gel pucks that you throw into a lunch bag and attempt to have it keep something cold, and realized that they were all gone. And I mean, that was kind of my aha moment of needing a solution that was completely integrated and would keep lunch and, fruits and vegetables and yogurts and things like that cold through lunchtime. So so the concept with the product is there's a freezable gel liner that's integrated right into the liner of all of the bags. So like this one here. So you just fold them up or compress them flat, and you leave these stored in your freezer. And in the morning when you come out and shake them open, the walls of the bag are actually frozen. I can show you this one. It has my lunch in it.
Yeah.
But you can feel like the frozen walls of the bag.
It's frozen,
there.
that's for sure. Yeah. And then you have a nice cool salad in there.
Yes, my little healthy lunch on the go.
Yeah, so making it a lot easier for you as mom and for your kids to eat healthy and to keep your food cool and good to go.
It is. I mean, we're all crazy busy these days, running in different directions, and then throw a few kids on top of that and their schedules. And to be able to take a little bit of step out of your morning routine and getting everybody out the door with the convenience of just pulling it out and packing and going. It was something that I knew that I needed in my life, and came to realize that a lot of other people do too.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier to market to your audience when you are the audience. And I know something that you did very well that you weren't even consciously doing was you shared your story and your own struggle at the time when you started this. You had recently become a single mom. If you could share your story a little bit that you ended up sharing with the business world that really positively impacted your business.
Sure. So in 2008, I had gone through a divorce and found myself with 3 kids in tow and hadn't really had a career. I was a stay-at-home mom for 13 years and knew that, I kind of had to reinvent myself and be prepared to take care of 3 children and raise 3 children on my own. So having the idea for PackIt really gave me the legs to accomplish that. But early on, I mean, it was difficult. I started out of my kitchen. I had ordered waterproof materials, some gel pack materials, kind of testing, things hanging all over the house, doing temperature testing and things like that. And then my dry cleaner actually sewed the first bag together for us. So, and we were entering a category with legacy brands, this large corporation legacy brands that we were, about to try and take on that challenge. And I was faced with, do I kind of go in and try and posture ourselves as something we're not, which was a large corporate brand, or do you embrace who you truly are authentically and present that story? And that's the direction we went. I think my first business card said CEO and mom.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this segment is all about marketing to the modern woman. And I think one thing that really, really works in reaching women is being approachable and real and authentic. And so you're a great testament to, you just met moms where they're at. I mean, how many either single moms are there or moms just struggling to balance it all that you could, just be transparent and say, I'm that woman too, and I want to help you.
Yeah, I think that in itself creates a tremendous, authentic, genuine relationship with the consumer when you can, be vulnerable and share your stories and your struggle and the success. People can really relate to that kind of story. So.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about your brand. I think, first of all, backing up for a second, a lot of people get confused. What's the difference between a business and a brand? And I often think of the business as being, the literal, what are you selling? And the brand being a little bit more of that intangible, who is behind it, the values. What would you say how you define the two?
I would say there is such a strong connection. And for us internally, culturally, as an organization, from the management team down, we live and breathe the values that we believe represent the brand. So we live it internally, and that creates a passion that exudes and transcends through all of our communications with our branding efforts. And I think that's so important. Branding for us is telling a story. It's, who we are is real. We're genuine. We want to be impactful. We want to create smart solutions. And I think, we have our core defining principles, and all of our products have to check all of those boxes in order to get to market.
What are some of those principles?
We develop, we want to deliver unexpected cool. We want to encourage the consumer to really expect more from the products that they buy. I think with our products, having the cooling effect, it's not just that the product's cool, but it delivers an experience. You can enjoy lunch. You can take healthy foods with you. You can know when you're sending your kids out the door with a healthy lunch. It's a feel-good, warm, fuzzy moment. I mean, being able to know that you're providing healthy meals that are making your children happy, it kind of embodies the whole experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more than just a meal, but like you said, it's the experience that goes along with, and the little bit of happiness and the stress-free feeling that I'm sure every mom has, knowing that they've provided their kid with a great lunch that they're going to enjoy.
Yeah. So we did an offsite working on putting together our branding and mission statements and our value statements. And it began as simply as having the team come up with any words that they felt were, created an essence or a feeling about PackIt. Who are we? We're delightful. We create experience. We're innovative. We're smart. And I think by starting with putting that just diagram together and then being able to concentrate that down into like kind of 4 key, statements and values is the beginning of the foundation for how your business is run, who you are as a culture, and that transcends into who you are as a brand.
It drives a lot of decisions, especially I'm sure you're coming out with new products all the time, and it can be you can get shiny object syndrome when it comes to being an entrepreneur, like, ooh, I could do this, I could do that. But really staying focused and knowing who you are and what's going to represent that brand is really important, don't you think? And doing that legwork and setting the foundation.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And, it's for me to put my story out there and to share that with the world. We live in a very transparent society that if there's something going on with your brand, good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to hear about it. There are platforms out there for your customers to share feedback with you. So it's so important to me having my face associated with the brand to be genuine, to be honest, to be truthful, and value the relationship that we've been able to build with our consumers.
And would you say that the mission, it comes down to providing families with healthy food options and the ability to have a healthy lifestyle, or how would you describe your mission?
Yeah, I mean, we live in a day and age where 33% of the population is looking to buy organic. So organic's not really a buzzword anymore. It's really a movement. Mm-hmm. And providing solutions for families that have that initiative to eat healthy and be healthy and live healthy while living a completely complicated and busy life. We pride ourselves in understanding what it is that our consumers looking for and addressing those needs with a smart solution.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about your target audience and really building that brand specifically on social media. So stay tuned for that. I'm Alex Worley, and this is Business Rockstars. Welcome back to Business Rockstars. I'm Alex Worley, continuing my conversation with the founder and CEO of PackIt. PackIt on how she markets to the modern woman. So let's talk a little bit about the modern woman that you're marketing to. Who is your target audience?
Sure. I think, from early on, our target audience always was mom packing lunches for her kids. It's definitely become more broad. Now, mom typically maybe introduces the product into her family for purposes of sending the kids to school with lunch, but quickly realizes that everybody in the family at some point has a need to keep something cold, whether it's our can coolers, spending the day at the soccer field, or freezable backpacks, at Disneyland for the day.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a good point, that you can have multiple target audiences, which makes it a little bit more complicated. But how do you navigate that?
We have a couple different platforms that we speak to the different demographics. So on our Facebook, we have our core PackIt at PackIt Cooler Facebook page, and then we have a lifestyle branded page. So we try and kind of bifurcate the strategies to speak to those different audiences.
And I think often your customers are your best cheerleaders. It's one thing to hear directly from a brand. It's another thing to hear from a customer who just organically wants to share their excitement about PackIt, either on social media or in person to their friend, right? Do you see that there's a lot of word of mouth marketing?
For sure. So we have been so fortunate to have such great organic communication about our brand. We always say it's conversation worthy, because the product is unique and it's innovative. If mom's sitting at the park and has a yogurt in her frozen lunch bag, it's something worth sharing. It's something she's excited about, and she's going to talk about it. So we really have been fortunate with the organic growth and conversation that has helped to develop the brand.
Yeah, and then the way that you can kind of push that organic growth is by getting influencers and ambassadors on board, where it's strategically basically getting these individuals to talk about your product and therefore creating that buzz and that conversation even further. So talk to me a little bit more about how you're engaging influencers and ambassadors today.
Sure. So we have our first ambassador, and we launched with her at the Chicago Houseware Show in March this year. Her name's P, the Little Vegan, and she is a 10-year-old vegan blogger that is the most passionate person about her vegan lifestyle. And she came and she demoed meal prep in our booth in Chicago. And it was amazing. I mean, people would walk by. She was at her little food stand doing her meal prep. And it stopped traffic.
Right. So what kind of content would you say is working really well on your social media or your blog right now?
I think at the end of the day, we're very real. We're very transparent. We love to share our experiences in-house, who we are, as a company culture. I think sharing that with people helps them create that authentic kind of affinity to a brand. We're fun, we're playful, we're colorful. We have this product that has married innovation and technology with fashion and design, and that's something we really like to have fun with. And I think, people recognize us in the category as a bit of a trendsetter through our design.
Yeah, and you're doing some educational content, right? Some how-tos maybe involving packing lunches and that kind of thing?
We do. We have our blog that goes out once a month. We do e-blasts. We like to have a lot of fun with recipes and fun, playful things that you can do with your PackIt and share those kind of experiences with our community.
So what social platforms or features are you really loving right now? Do you favor Facebook over Instagram? Are you loving live video, maybe Facebook groups?
Yeah, I mean, those are our two strongest platforms. And Facebook Live has been really successful for us, and the Instagram stories have also been really successful for us too. We get a lot of two-way conversation through Facebook, and I think it's important for us to be able to respond quickly, address any questions or concerns our customers might have, and that in itself shows them that we care. and continuing to reinforce, that bond that we want to create with our customers.
Yeah, really making it a two-way conversation where you're listening and responding. I this morning I got to blow out a dry bar and I posted it on Instagram stories, and then they respond through a direct message, and it just makes you feel more connected to a brand when they actually take the time to respond.
And that's the thing. People engage when they're excited and when they're passionate about something, and that is contagious. So when you can fuel that with your consumers, it continues.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Really appreciate it. You bet. I'm Alex Worley, and this is Business Rockstars.